Hello and welcome to another episode of Badman Reviews. And what just happened was a Nintendo Direct. So, obviously what needs to happen? A video about said Nintendo Direct. And there's a lot to talk about. Some things I've been wanting and some things that I've been wanting, but they totally fucked up again. So, let's get straight into these things. Starting off first, we have Star Fox Zero. We got some more information, we got some new planets, we got some more stuff that mostly I knew about because I've already been able to play the game a little bit. And like I said before, I'm excited for it. I'm really interested in the co-op. A lot of people were like, ooh, great, one person can fly and one person can shoot. I think that's actually going to be pretty fun. I think that's something me and my girlfriend are going to have tons of fun with. It reminds me of 187 Ride or Die, a game me and my friend used to play where one person would shoot and one person would drive. And I would always drive because I was good at it, and he would always shoot because he sucked at driving. So we would do this racing game where you drive around and he would just shoot people while I did the race and picked up the guns for us. And it was a blast, and I loved it, so I'm hoping that Star Fox Zero gives kind of the same feeling that that game gave me when I played it. So that's definitely something I'm looking forward to when it comes to Star Fox. Plus, you know, it's looking to be an actual Star Fox that doesn't suck, so I'm really, really excited for that. So, get hyped for that. Moving on to something else, though. One game that I found kind of interesting in the Direct. Like I said, I'm going to be skipping over some things that I didn't personally find interesting and didn't want to talk about, like Mario and Sonic at the Rio Olympics. We'll be skipping stuff like that. But I decided to talk about Lost Reavers, which is a game that I knew nothing about until this Direct, which was basically a dungeon crawler, and third-person dungeon crawler at that, not a top-down view. I was interested in it, and I thought it looked fun, but at the same time, it also kind of looks like a really badly made, free-to-play Korean game. You know, like those first-person shooter games like Guns or Crossfire, or like those random MMOs I can't think of names of that are just all made in Korea, and they all look really bad, and sometimes they're good, but most of the time they're not. So, I'm gonna pick at this a little bit and figure out if I'm gonna want it. We're gonna wait maybe for some reviews or whatever, but as of right now, I'm kinda iffy about it. You know, traveling through weird, generic kinda looking ruins and, I don't know, shooting / slicing zombies. It seems fun, but it also kind of looks bad. So, we'll have to see. Alrighty! Here's the main subject, though. Paper Mario just got a new game announced, and guess what? It's Sticker Stars 2, and it looks like it's gonna be trash. Personally, I think it looks gorgeous and beautiful, and it's on the Wii U, so it's fantastic. It has a cool idea and concept that you have to go around the world returning color to it with your hammer, where you splash the ground and it brings the color back to the world. I thought that was a good idea, and they were going in a great direction, and I was super excited. And then they showed the battle system and the overworld map, and I wanted to shoot myself in the face. Why? Why? Like, seriously. They didn't learn their lesson from Sticker Star. No one wants that. No one wants a boring battle system that doesn't even require you to fight anything. That was my biggest issue with Sticker Star. Some people's biggest issue was that there was no partners. Some people's biggest issue was that you didn't level up or progress at all. My biggest issue was that you didn't have to fight anything in that game. You could literally walk through Sticker Star and just fight the bosses with no problem at all. Like, all you had to do was find the special sticker for said boss and then use it on the boss and almost insta-kill the boss. You didn't have to level up or fight anything else. It was the stupidest design ever, and it... Oh! And it looks like they're doing it again with this game, where you get cards by, you smack a block and you get a card. And like, well, or you'll smack a block and you get 3 jump cards, and you can use the jump cards to attack enemies. And from what I can see, there's no level progression bar, there's no life, there's no partners, there's a crappy overworld map that looks just like Sticker Star for a console game, I may add. They put a really crappy overworld game. At least Super Mario Land was a 3DS game and it had a shitty overworld, but then when they moved it to Wii U and gave us Super Mario World, we had at least a decently cooler looking overworld that we could walk around in. But no, Paper Mario doesn't get that. Paper Mario gets the piece of crap, and it gets dumped on. I love Paper Mario. I was excited. I thought, you know what? Maybe they learned their lesson from Sticker Star. Maybe they'd give us a good combat system like the first 2 games, or maybe even like Super Paper Mario. I wouldn't care if it was like Super Paper Mario. A fun platformer adventure game. That's fine. Even, it has partners, it had a level progression system. Yeah, people weren't super into it but it was still good. This isn't. Enough about my ranting. I'm probably still gonna get the game, and I'm probably gonna hate it, but moving on. Next is Pokmon Tournament, which is coming out a lot sooner than I thought it would. I thought we'd have to wait a while to get a console version of it, but it's coming out fairly soon. March 17th to be exact, and I'm hyped. After seeing it, I'm not super into fighters, but Pokmon Tournament seems like something fun I can get into. I'll totally get my butt kicked by all the fighting people who know how to play fighters and are better than me at that kind of thing, but I get to kick people's butts with Gengar, and I'm totally okay with that because he's my favorite Pokemon. So just that in itself is enough to make me get it. Plus, my friends and my girlfriend are into fighting games, and this will give me something to play with them besides Smash Bros. Also, the Shadow Mewtwo looks cool. I kind of hope to get that, but just excited to play as Gengar in a fighting game. So, looking forward to that one for sure. Another little interesting one I found interesting was Sentence doesn't even make sense. Basically, we're getting our Club Nintendo back in a new rewards program kind of system, and I'm excited for that. I was a little bit disappointed when we lost Club Nintendo. I got as many points as I could because I was working at a game store at that point in time, so I could just take all the codes I wanted from whatever boxes that came in, and well, whatever pre-owned games came in, I was able to take the codes out, and I got myself a nice Majora's Mask bag that looks like trash, sadly, and I haven't used because it looks like garbage. But, you know, I do miss Club Nintendo. We got some cool stuff with it. You can get some games and whatnot. I actually got, what was it? Golden Sun and Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze through Club Nintendo when it was ending. So, there's always a plus to that kind of thing, and I liked it, and I was disappointed when it left. I knew they were said at the time that there'd be something else, but I didn't know how long it would take. So it's nice to finally see that ball rolling again, and I can't wait to see what kind of rewards and stuff we'll get from it. Hopefully it's as good as Club Nintendo was, and it's not going to be some kind of downgraded, not as good version of it. Next is something I'm really not too interested in, but a lot of people are, and I want to, you know, put in my 2 cents. Metroid Prime Federation Force. I personally think it looks good. It's a 3DS game, can't expect too much from it. So, you know, a spin-off is good enough for me for 3DS. That's fine. I'm cool. You know, 3DS gets a spin-off, it's a fun game. But I can also see why Metroid people are pissed. They haven't had a main Metroid game in a long time, and as of right now, it still doesn't look like they're going to be getting a main Metroid game in a long time. But, I'd like to point out to those people, could be worse. You could be an F-Zero fan. But, I can see where they're coming from. And I really hope that we do get a new Metroid Prime-ish game in the future at some point, because it was a fantastic series. But for right now, I think this is going to tie Metroid fans over. I think they're gonna, even though how much they hate on it now, they'll probably still buy it, most of them at least, and they'll probably still like it. And then they'll probably end up playing the ball game and going, wow, why did I bash on this? This is pretty fun. Then you have the other people who are gonna just continuously flip it off and tell it to go suck or whatever. You know, those people. That's really all I wanted to say about Federation Force. I'm not into it myself, but I know there's a lot of people into it right now, and I decided to give my 2 cents on it. Another thing I'm really interested in getting is the Rhythm Heaven mix. I've always been into Rhythm Heaven, and I played a little bit of it on the Wii, but I didn't play too much, so I'm kind of excited to get my hands on a full version and play a lot of them, play basically all of them, and it would be great, especially since I love rhythm games. It'll give me another rhythm game to play, and I haven't been able to play a new one in a while, haven't been able to afford Rock Band. There haven't been many rhythm games I've been able to get into recently. Every once in a while I'll go down to the movie theater down the street and play some DDR, but besides that, I've been lacking in the rhythm genre, which is upsetting. So hopefully this will change that up for me a little bit. The last thing to talk about, Robot Kirby. Yeah! The most important thing about this is that I'm going to get a Meta Knight amiibo finally. Hopefully. I missed out on the Smash Bros. Meta Knight, so I guess I'll have to, you know, deal with getting this Meta Knight instead. I still want the Smash Bros. Meta Knight. I'm not gonna get it ever. I've been trying for so long, I'm just never gonna get it. It's upsetting. I'm never gonna get it for a decent price. Not some, like, $50, ooh, sure. Not some $50 price tag or $80 or $100 Meta Knight, you know. I guess I'll just have to settle with this one. It looks cool still, so I can deal with it. But on top of that, Kirby's riding a robot, and it's awesome. Like, what's cuter or better than a fluffy pink ball riding a giant mech? Everyone loves it. I don't know anyone who hasn't posted about it, about how they love it. Plus, the robot can take the abilities of other characters, which is also fantastic. I'm excited for it. I actually like Triple Deluxe. I like pretty much any Kirby game. They're all fun. My favorite one is probably it's one for the Game Boy Advance. It's like the Shattered Mirror or something like that. That one was awesome. I 100% of that one like 3 times, probably more. That was a great game. I would love to have another Kirby game like that. But this one is this one has Kirby driving a robot, so I think it's gonna be fun no matter what. And I think that's about covered everything for this Nintendo Direct. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. There was a decent amount to talk about, surprisingly, but I think they're holding some back still for E3. Definitely holding some back still, because we haven't heard about the NX, and they pretty sure they said we'd hear about it at this E3. So that's definitely going to be something to get interested in and hyped for. I think E3 is coming soon in the next couple months. I think it's in June or July, sometime around there I think E3 is, so let's get hyped for that. But until then, I'll see you all in the next video.